Hey everybody, Riot Mort back here with another YouTuber where I'm watching a pre-recorded game I played earlier today, talking about what's going on in Inkborn Fables and having a grand old time, and apparently saying nothing too crazy, nothing too crazy, nothing too crazy over and over and over, so the YouTube comments can call me out on it. So if you're playing a drinking game, for every time I say it, take 3 drinks, nerds. Yeah. Okay. Well, back to it. We're playing a spatula game here. Nothing too crazy. All right, I'll stop. Spatula's got a lot of different options, though. We're sticking with our plan to have all the origins come out of spatulas. So you can do a lot of the different origins here. Sadly, no fortune spat. Makes me sad. Kind of wish we did. But, you know, it is what it is. Good start here. We get a tier. I haven't memorized all the spats yet. I gotta work on that. So. We got double Kabuko though, always good. Double Kha'Zix, a lot of pairs here. Looking at our spatula, so far we can do Mythic, which doesn't match any of our pairs. A little unfortunate. Okay. Get a bow. Bow, I believe, is Porcelain. And then, yep, so we have our Kha'Zix pairs. A lot of pairs here. We do hit the Kabuko and the Darius. That's a nice boost. Also have a Yasuo. Kha'Zix Yasuo, by the way. So we have 2 of the Exalted already. If we can find an Amumu, Bard, or Diana, we can get 3 Exalted in, which is always nice. But at the very least, it does give us 2 Duelist. So. Alright, still trying to figure out how we want to use our spatula here. Umbral's definitely an option as well if we got a glove. 2 removers for some reason. Okay. What doesn't kill you? Idealism and Arcanist Crest. Arcanist Crest is interesting because we have the Lux here, and we know we can build the Porcelain emblem. So there's always a world where we go like some deep Porcelain. My Heart will go on, could go Faded. I didn't really want to test that though. So we end up going with this. That is going to give us the Lux. We should be able to level up, put the Lux in. And so that's 2 Arcanist. And then we can build the Porcelain emblem if we want here. To make the world's best Darius here. Arcanist Porcelain Darius. Okay. It's something. I'll take those. Honestly, probably should have just kept the Kabuko in, but it's fine. Not a big deal here. Hopefully the Darius here. Darius does scale off AP, so him being Arcanist and Porcelain here is actually pretty solid. If Darius is going to be strong, this should be a very strong early game Darius. And then to give Lux in the back to support it. We do find the Amumu early, so that does give us 3 Exalted option here. Yeah, so we can play the early Exalted here. That's going to allow us to level pretty quick. And then we can put all these on Yasuo, so now it's Yasuo's turn. We did make ourselves weaker here to get that Exalted in, but to get the XP each turn should be pretty good. We do want that 1 XP per turn, so... we go up against a strong board here. We don't have much, you know, shred or anything like that to get through these tanks. So the Malphite looking pretty strong. Yasuo is mostly a tank, so we just don't have enough damage here. Exalted hasn't really ramped up. It's like 8% more damage, and the Caitlyn's going to be able to burn through. The fight's still pretty close. But yeah, the combination of the dummy, the Randuins, and the Caitlyn 2, pretty sure we don't win this. It's a good attempt. Okay. Nothing too good here in the shop. Didn't say crazy. But again, we're starting to get our Exalted XP going, which is always nice. For those who don't know, Exalted is a different trait setup every game. If you can get it going early, you can get that 1 extra XP a turn. It did get nerfed today. It was 2 XP, which was really good. But for now, we can play around this Yasuo. If we can get Nico in, that'll give us 2 Heavenly, which is a little bit of extra stats as well. Play around this Lux, but again, we've got Porcelain and Arcanist options both open to us with these emblems here. So if we can find Ash. Porcelain's a really weird vertical, by the way. You're going to play a Mumu Lux early very often. You kind of get it for free. And then Lux Lysandra, both being sort of Porcelain Arcanist, works together well. But it's actually pretty tough to go beyond 2. And so getting to 4 and even 6, I can't believe there's a 6-piece Porcelain. It's probably going to be one of the least played traits out there, but it does have a lot of power behind it if you can get it in. And was just recently buffed as well. So, third pick, items-wise, you know, trying to get something going for our casters. We need damage for this comp right now. Our front line's plenty strong. So a sword would be nice. So we could build a Shojin. Ooh, Chrono Trigger music. I like it. We do get a 3-cost rod here, which is okay. Can build the Ionic Spark so that we have our Shred from now on, and it'll just make Yasuo as tanky as he can be. And before anyone asks, no, 3 Porcelain is not the new 3 Bruiser. 3 Bruiser is still the 3 Bruiser. So... Alright, so we have that going. We know if we're playing, you know, Arcanist, having that Ionic Spark is going to be good no matter what. Up against an Umbral comp. Unfortunately, we do see that there's another Porcelain player in the lobby. They have Lux 2. They have the Augment as well. That Augment gives 5 mana per auto. So they should be able to destroy us here. And sure enough, that's what happens. So they're just a much stronger version of us right now. Ugh. That's sad. Their Lux 2 did about 10 times the damage our Lux 1 did. Huh. Oh well. On a 3 Lost Streak, I suppose we could Lost Streak from here and just Exalted Lost Streak, use the extra XP to level up. It's not the worst outcome. All right, first encounter. You can tell from the mini-map. And what do we get here? We're going to get a random 3-star 1-cost Spirit to help for 3-player combats. We get Rek'Sai that matches none of our traits. You do actually benefit from the traits of the unit you get. So if we had gotten something like Yasuo or Ahri, that could have been really cool. Instead, we get Rek'Sai. It is what it is. It's a little extra frontline, but of course, again, we weren't really suffering for frontline. We needed damage, so a bit of a low roll here. But that's okay. Bye, Nico. Going up against a Tahm Kench with Dryad. That's going to be a nightmare later. Tahm Kench scales really well with that HP. So... thankfully, right now, they're just level 4. The 3-star Darius doesn't really match their comp either. The odds that it really does match your comp are pretty low. So, nothing too wild here. In fact, look at that. Rek'Sai was our top damage. Perfect. Still haven't hit any Arcanists. Still no Ahri. That's kind of rough. Makes me sad. Because we found Ahri, we'd hit 4 Arcanist, which is a nice spike. Our 2 win streakers right now. Somebody playing. We saw that Randuin's player, and then the our Porcelain rival here. So Porcelain, again, a little contested because we probably don't want to go for Lux 3 or anything. Lux 3 right now on PBE, very good. Drives the Nico wild. He hates fighting against Lux. And, okay, 2 tiers. When we see the 2 tiers here, what that makes me think is we should be playing around Syndra. Syndra is a really good blue buff user. We're going to put the Ornn in. Ornn should be a little tankier than a Yasuo here. It also gives us 2 Dryad temporarily. The fact that Ornn was also exalted here allowed us to replace Yasuo with it pretty easily. Can sell the Bard to hit 40. Now, the nice thing about Ornn is every time he casts, if you watch, we saw this a little bit yesterday, but every time he casts, he's going to put an item out there. So now Amumu just got a Sunfire. Ornn especially, I think, is really good early. He falls off a cliff. He doesn't have enough healing. Unfortunately, the Caitlyn 3 on the other side just destroyed us, so not much you can do there. Would have been nice if we'd lost 2-7 actually, or 2-6, because then we could have been on a loss streak, but that's okay. Venerable Piggy Bank if we wanted to stick with Exalted, which, Capricious Forge. Ooh, Mind Over Matter. Arcanists grant 250% of their combined ability power to your target dummies. Now this one's weird, but it can get really fun, and I think we'll be able to play around it. This gives us our direction now. But now we have a target dummy with 2,000 HP right now. So clearly we're gonna play Arcanist, and we're gonna see how big we can get this target dummy. We've also got Porcelain in, which means if we can get Lysandra, we'll be able to go for Porcelain as well, which, like I talked about, can be pretty good. So we have 2 item removers, so we can also slam items for now. I'm gonna use the blue buff to item hold for Syndra. Unfortunately, we go up against the Windstreaker. They still look much stronger than us. So, and Kha'Zix's on the back line here. Yeah, Zoe would have to carry pretty hard here. Caitlyn ult. Oh, the Ghostly procs here also just doing a lot of damage. They have, it looks like 4 Ghostly, possibly. They have 2 Ghostly. But either way, just not enough damage to get through their beefy front line. And we lose that one. So, oh well. It's going to give us item picks, right? Right? Copium? Alright, another encounter. What do we got here? Azir grants 6 free rerolls that last until used. Now, we could save these, but realistically right now, I'd love to get Lux 2 going, Amumu 2, Nico 2, Ari. Like, there's so many things we could hit. And we kind of want to stay healthy, so rolling now is actually totally fine. Unfortunately, not finding a ton, so we didn't really hit what we were looking for here. That is going to cost us Mythic, but it gives us more frontline. So, a Kha'Zix 1's just not really carrying his weight. Going up against a Ghostly Sniper board here. Okay. Oof. Okay. Still losing here, so hopefully we can find a better board, get some Arcanists. Syndra would be really good for us here. Lysandra would be a miracle, because that would just be 4 Porcelain and another Arcanist, but we'll see what we can find. We go with the belt. That's going to give us Nashor's Tooth, which is pretty good. So again, just building towards these Syndra items so that hopefully Syndra can be a strong carry here. Find a second Zoe, find a Diana. If we could find the Zoe 2, that would at least give us a carry and some real damage. Bum, bum. And again, the thing to note here is the person in first who's still win streaking is the other Porcelain player. So that's pretty bad for us. At least we're getting our 1 XP a turn, so we should be able to at least get to 8 pretty quick. But And again, the more AP we get on our Arcanists, the bigger our target dummy is going to be. But yeah, look at that Lux. That Lux has very good items here. And kind of nuking my Zoe even from the backline with that damage fall off. Zoe's about to die. And there she goes. Oof. Okay. Little rough. Okay. We are running out of health as we head into another encounter. Yorick reduces the cost to reroll your shot by 1 for the next 3 rounds. So, knowing that we're kind of getting some budget rerolls here, I think right after the PvE round, we're going to level to 7 and then try to hit our board, knowing we've got that budget rerolls. So, this is a good example, by the way, of an encounter that might change the way you play a little bit, right? Because if we can take advantage of this and get some pretty good value, that'll be good. We also have a remover. We have 2 removers, so we can move it to Lux for now, knowing that we can still move it to Syndra later. But since Lux is Porcelain and 2-star, clearly going to be better than a Zoe 1. Goes up against a Mythic board. If we lose here, it's okay, because we'll be on a loss streak. If we win, we'll save health. So either outcome here, kind of fine. Could really use a 2-star front line. Kazac's on our back line. Lux is going to need some big hits here. And it looks like we're going to be loss streaking. Oof. Okay. Health is a little low. This is one of those games, if I was playing live, I'd be like, this does not feel like a first. We're in last place. There's somebody with 100 HP. So how are we going to turn this around? Oh, I know. We'll just hit those real quick. Now, the other thing to note here is the target dummy is going to scale up to 2-star here. So at least the target dummy will be a little tankier as well. But like I said, this is where I think we're going to... Normally we would try to go 8, but the fact that we're going to have these 1-cost rerolls, I think we're going to roll for quite a bit here. 2 swords is really bad. Okay, the rod at least makes it a gunblade. That's a lot less bad. Alright, find a Mumu 2, Annie... Udyr. Udyr's not something we need. Another Annie. Okay. Now, Annie is such a good tank, by the way, because she can go in basically any comp. Her traits barely matter. Fortune, Invoker, yeah, 2, but other than that. So we managed to hit some good stuff here. We have a Lux with items ready to go for a Syndra. We hit the Annie 2 and the Amumu 2 for some frontline. Our Arcanist target dummy now has a lot of health, so plenty of frontline. Just kind of missing that damage, but 6-piece Arcanist, that AP goes from 40 to 80, so pretty big jump there. On the other side, we do see somebody who has that Syndra, so Syndra also a little contested this game. Thankfully, Lux gets some big snipes. By the time they get through the target dummy and the Annie, we're looking pretty good. Okay, third augment. Something AP or porcelain based, I suppose. Infernal Contract, no, definitely not. Final Ascension, New Recruit's probably okay here. Impenetrable Bulwark's okay. Radiant Refactor is also good. This augment's actually getting a slight nerf. It's going to get 1 less component, but to get that Radiant item might give us that extra damage we need. Can level up here. See if we get anything good here. Cloak is fine. Items aren't great here, but we can go, yeah, we can go Adaptive Helm on the front line here. And then Radiant Blue buff is not bad here. Radiant Gunblade is also pretty good, but I like the Radiant Blue buff choice here. Again, if we're playing around Syndra, that's going to be a nice spike. So again, now we've got front line. We have this, you know, the Diana here. That's not doing a lot, but it's still a 2-star. We need to find Syndra and Lysandra. That's our goal. Syndra and Lysandra, then we'll be good. On the other side, though, look at this Tahm Kench. That is a Dryad Radiant Adaptive Helm Tahm Kench. That is going to be scary to deal with later. Thankfully, Annie's healing up. Annie's doing good. The Amumu healing next to it, not so bad either. And they just didn't have the damage. Cool. Look at that. Annie top damage almost, by the way. So, pretty good. Because Arcanist is also giving the Annie AP, so can't complain there. Again, would really like to get out of a 2-cost being our carry. But, you know, what can you do? Just not really hitting what we need. Throw in another Annie. Why not? Yeah, rolling for this Syndra and just not hitting. So that means we're stuck with Lux. On the other side, though, that's a Wukong 1, Kane 2 with 1 item. Should be okay to win this fight. Because Annie should be doing a lot of damage. Again, the 6 Arcanist gives Annie that 40 AP. So even she kind of crunches. And then she's also got the DR from that Porcelain emblem. So if we can get to 4 Porcelain, I'll feel pretty good. There is a Lysandra, but it has a sword, which would mean we have Deathblade, which is not ideal, but it is still a Lysandra. I think the fact that that's an Arcanist, it's the hard to get Arcanist, and it gives us our 4 Porcelain, that's going to be worth it here. So let's get that. Hopefully we just roll some items so we don't have to play around a frickin' Deathblade. But we can just replace Ari with that, and that puts us good to go. By the way, our Porcelain Nemesis, I-Beam here, still 100 streaking. So that's a bit of a feels bad for us. But now we have 4 Porcelain, and we've got this Lysandra. So hopefully this Lysandra with 6 Arcanist, 4 Porcelain can farm some items. There's even an argument to be said here about moving the items from Lux to Lysandra, but Lysandra 1's a little risky. She's only got 2 range, so if she dies early, that'd be all of our damage. And that means we'd also be unable to move them to the Syndra when we find it. So, gonna hold off for now. On the other side, that's a mythic Lilia. Just pretend it's Kent. So, and it's already dealing me some damage. Thankfully, we have the Gunblade, so we're able to heal our Lux back up. We did already farm an item. Lucky us. Sweet. Got an armor. Can't complain. All right. Lux doing some big damage here. Like I said, Lux feels a little too good for a 2-cost, but what are you gonna do? Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Right now, we're kind of at the mercy of our items here, and we're really looking for that Syndra, because if we find the Syndra, we take out the second Annie. That gives us 7 Arcanist. We go to 9, put back in the Ari, that's 8 Arcanist, 4 Porcelain. So at this point, we kind of want to get our gold up, see if we can make it to 9, see if we can get that in. And again, all that AP from the Arcanist's making the target dummy bigger, so that buys us some time. The other person also playing 4 Porcelain. We're up against a Bard here that's got a Heavenly emblem, so Mythic Heavenly, pretty good combination. And we're kind of not positioned to get on this Bard, so this might be a loss. Big ult here? Nope, didn't go for the Bard. We're just ignoring the Bard. Stop ignoring the Bard. All those meeps wrecked us. I don't know, 27 health. It's getting pretty scary here. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, because they have the Lux 3. Their front line's worse, but they just have actual damage here, so. Bum, bum. Annie with a big ult here. A lot of gold, which is good, because that's going to help us get to 9 quicker. Yeah, we got a lot of gold here. We also got a Gunblade. If we get, like, Gunblade Shojin for the Lysandra, that could work well. So hopefully a tier here. And then, yeah, we can Bramble the Amumu. It's fine. Could have also crown guarded it, but we have enough AP from Arcanist. Yay, we got the tier. So yeah, Gunblade Shojin for sure. Means we don't even need to use the Reforger. One more turn maybe, so we have enough gold to roll. Up against the Ghostly player, who clearly fell off a little bit. Radiant Ionic Spark. As long as they don't get on our Lux, we should win this. The Morgana's not going to be able to kill the Lux through the Gunblade. Yeah, you can see the Morgana's hit, but just not a lot of damage here. Annie's healing up as best she can. Gunblade as well. Nice. Whew. Little close, but Lux the 2 cost carrying us here, so. Alright, first player dead. We got 2 encounters this stage, by the way. 5-2 and 5-5, so let's see. First encounter is 20 XP and 10 rerolls. I mean, tomato here. We'll just take the 20 XP, puts us close. That gives us a lot more gold, so may as well level here. Alright, find another Lysandra. Lysandra too early would be good. That's a free Ash too, but we're not going 6 Porcelain here, so that's kind of a waste. We find that, and there's the Syndra. Okay, so now we have 8 Arcanists. Look how much health on that. Okay, Lysandra 2 was big. Lysandra 2 was a big upgrade here. Okay, more Lysandras. But look how much health is on that target dummy now. So now, with 8 Arcanists, I'm hoping we can get some wins here. The Porcelain player on the other side did lose their last match. Lysandra takes some damage here. If we can farm some items with an 8 Arcanist Lysandra 2, that would be really good. Unfortunately, our Lysandra's down, but looks like, okay, whew. So 8 Arcanist did its work here. Didn't farm any items, but again, good damage overall. If we can find the Syndra 2, we've got great items for it. But moving it to Syndra 1 doesn't seem to make sense here. It might just accidentally die to a breeze, so. Pretty solid Arcanist comp, though. But yeah, you can see 5,740 HP on that target dummy. And by the way, right now this augment, if you get crash test dummies with this augment, whew. Although I think we might have blacklisted those, but either way, if you can get a second target dummy with this augment, it gets pretty wild. All right, up against a Bard 3 here. The hope, though, is that their front line looks pretty bad as long as we can get through. Yeah, look at that. Big damage from the Lysandra in the back. Lux hitting. Annie's still alive. We did farm an item. An armor. It's really close, but okay, we got it. Nice. Bard 3 dead. Poor Bard 3. Something out damaged by a Lux 2. Something. Any Syndras? No. Could go Morello. Could go tank items like Warmogs, Redemption. Could also just go 5-cost Nashers to get another carry. We do have 8 Arcanists, so having a secondary carry can be quite good. And again, the 4 Porcelain, given that DR to Annie, making her very strong here. I'll just put that on Lysandra. Let's go. One more Syndra. Got the Ari. Hey, there it is. Okay, so now we have 8 Arcanists, Radiant Blue Buff, Nasher, Gunblade. This Syndra can ramp up. It'll take a little longer at first. For the first 2 or 3 casts, it's actually a little weaker than Lux, a tiny bit. Because Syndra's not Porcelain especially. But after that, it should start to melt. So let's see. We go. Oh my god, that's a Tahm Kench 3. That is a very strong Tahm Kench 3. Our best hope against that is actually Lysandra locking it in place. Because if that gets anywhere near, like, watch this Annie when it casts. Oh, just so much damage here. Chunks it. But again, now Lysandra is there. Hopefully Lysandra can lock it into place in the pot. There we go. Yeah, and thanks to that, now Syndra's ramped up. God, the drag, it's just so hard to get through, but we got through it. And we farmed an item. Sweet. It's a cloak, okay. Another encounter. Ash reveals your upcoming opponent for the rest of the game. There are 4 players left. Okay. Thanks, Ash. Thanks. Big help here. Big help, Ash. We're really couldn't have done it without you. Hilariously enough, by the way, if you look at our comp, basically everything is 2-starred with the exception of Nico, and we're not going to roll just for a Nico. So our next play is actually level up and try to find a faded unit, something like Set. So at this point, we're just saving our gold here. There's really nothing to roll for. It might take a few rounds, but if we can get up to level 10, that'll be an upgrade for sure. All right, so we go up against a Porcelain. Again, that's at Lux 3. It's already on my Lysandra, which hopefully just feeds it mana for a bit. Oh, I need one more Lysandra cast. Oh no, that was bad. Kind of the worst case with the Nautilus locking it in place. Oof, bad loss here. We really wanted to win this fight. Thankfully, it's not going to kill us. 13 health. But between the Lysandra taking the Nautilus ult and the Lux ults over and over, just some bad positioning there. So I think we need to improve our positioning if we're going to have any shot of making a comeback here. 3 players left. Thank God for Ash, though, so we know who our next opponent is. Because they're 4 Porcelain, 4 Warden, 2 Arcanists, so... And again, just kind of shows you that Lux 3 just doing a ton of damage here. So if you wonder why she gets nerfed, kind of why. Okay. A little bit of gold. Sell that Orn. Can't quite hit 30. Item. Tank item, because we don't need Even Shroud, we don't need Hurricane, we don't need Sterix. It could be Archangel, but on who? Lux? Just get another tank item. Let our Amumu cast a little bit more. Whew! 6 Dryad, 6 Bruiser, Tom Kench. That Tom Kench has so much health. If we go anywhere near that Tom Kench, we can lose fights. Ooh, it is a ghost fight, but it's on the wrong side. This is pretty bad. This Tom Kench. Thankfully, we're going to be ramping, but that Tom Kench could make pretty quick work of our front line. Yeah, already ate the Alawi. Amumu's going to need a lot of healing here. It just destroys the Amumu. Annie's doing her best, but I basically have no front line. This Tom Kench is going to be walking towards my Syndra here. Oh, that's bad. We did farm an item, but... yeah, oh. Can Lysandra do this? The Gunblade's doing work. Thankfully throws it back. Whew. This fight was so close. Holy moly. Shows you the positioning, though. We got to keep Tom Kench away from that, so that was a little rough. And they just got a Gallia here. By the way, our target dummy. Look at that target dummy's health. That thing's getting wild. So again, we would need to stay as far away from that Tom Kench as we can. Okay. I think last minute here, like I said, we keep it far away. That way now it has to go through the target dummy and the Lysandra. So this feels like much better positioning this time. Tom Kench shouldn't get anywhere near our Syndra. Our Syndra should be last to die. And so we can ramp up that damage. Get a little bit of gold from that Lysandra. And again, this feels like peak Lysandra, right? 8 Arcanist, 4 Porcelain. Doesn't get much better than this. Syndra's now ramped up. Syndra is kind of getting caught here. Yeah, it's Lysandra dies to this Tom Kench, but Syndra now really ramped up. Trying to get through. Yep. Whew. And that's the kill. So yeah, Syndra, you can see there, 15,000 damage. Feels good for us, not for them. There is a Faded in our shop here, so we can level up here. This is going to activate 3 Faded here. And now what we're going to do is we're going to pair Ari and Syndra. And so that just gave me 25 AP for Syndra and Ari, as well as 12% damage, both of which are good things. So Syndra now has so much AP. Now we know we're up against our Porcelain mirror match here, but that means we're going to want to position in the middle so that Syndra doesn't take damage from this Lux. Positioning wise, it looks pretty good here. As long as this Lux 3 doesn't delete Lysandra and things like that. The Nautilus ults are hurting us, locking us in place. Those Umbral Executes are also doing good work here. But we are through the front line, onto the back line. Lysandra, and again, Syndra now fully ramped up here. A little closer than I would have liked, but it is the win. As we head into our final carousel. We did get a Sunfire, by the way. There's a 5-cost Jeweled Gauntlet here. We're not going to be able to use that spatula for anything. So yeah, we can put the Jeweled Gauntlet on someone like Zoe. That's always an option. Put it on Lux. Makes sense. She has 4 Porcelain. She's strong. Makes sense. I mean, at this point, we're really rolling for a Nico 2. But we got to win 2 more rounds, basically. As long as our positioning doesn't change, though, I don't feel like we're at too much of a risk here. Again, they have to burn through so much with that target dummy. The set is scary here. If this set gets a really big slam, i.e. Sterix, those are really good items on this set. So, sorry about the lag spike there, but oof. Thankfully, we do have the Gunblade on both those characters, so we get through the set. We're on the back line again. Those Umbral Executes doing some work. And got the kill there. Didn't farm any items. I think we're at the last round here, so... But there you go. We played it well. We had 2 Arcanist emblems. The days of emblems are back. So... feels pretty good. Now, pairing this here, by the way, now we lose the AP, which is fine, because we didn't really need AP since we already have the 8 Arcanist worth of AP. But we did gain 15% Omnivamp for our Syndra. So Syndra now is going to be able to heal up even more. So this feels like a nice upgrade. This is what we wanted. And who knows, maybe Set gets a nice big slam. So here we go. It could be the final match. 8 Arcanist, 4 Porcelain, Syndra, Lysandra, Annie versus a Lux 3. How we doing? That Set ult hurts, but again, now we have that Omnivamp. You see Syndra heals up so much. And yeah, they just can't get through it all. And one more cast. Oh, but the Omnivamp. And whew, there we go. GG. All right, see you tomorrow. Hope you guys are enjoying. Take it easy.